Welcome to the Lives Lost Count, where we tell you of victims in horror movies, anime, TV shows, action flicks, music videos, and beyond. I am your host, William Pro, aka Nexus. We're diving into Final Destination Bloodlines. The sixth entry is my all-time favorite horror movie, and before we tally up let's rewind the greatest hits. In the 2000 Final Destination, a kid students are saved from the fire and as death stalked them one by one. Same thing with 2003 with the unforgivable highway pickup. Roller coaster derailment, death omens hit picture in Final Destination 3 in the 2006. 2019 Final Destination, a 3D carnage at the racetrack, and collapse stand above the chaos. In 2011, Final Destination 5, a retro expansion bridge, and a killer twist that link directly back to the original film. Now, Final Destination Bloodlines 2025. Honestly, it's created by Adam and who actually both of them co-directed Freak. Adam and both the directors co-directed Freaks. But one of them actually is from Ghostbusters Freddy. The first director. But in this latest installment, where the legacy turned into a personal, a high school student have a haunted dream that ties together with 1969. You see, the children vision of the grandmother dying, that the death happened, and the death isn't done with their bloodline. Okay, what actually happened is this death runs in the family, the headline. Death doesn't stop with not only death takes on the entire lineage of the bloodline. In this film, we have the iconic horror legend, Tony Todd, motherfucking Todd, who actually returned for his role as William Bloodworth. But the legendary Todd, but for his immortality, I will actually tell his. He played the legendary caveman himself in 1992 and 2021. He's been from the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead by Tom Savini. He arranged a blood-coated right-hand man from The Crow. He joined Valentine from Wishmaster. He Reverend Zombie, who actually in the Hatchet franchise. He's the anonymous voice of the park in Hellfest. He's a dark side in Apocalypse War and Reign of Superman and the Lego DC. He's Deadwing in Optimus Prime. He's a icon of Young Justice. He, the voice of Zoom of Flash. He's skyrocketing Master of Zoom. His voice is command and precise. Fixate of horror, sci-fi, and animation alike. Wherever we see him on screen or behind the mind, Tony Todd made death feel personal. Like, if we actually see him in Werewolf Game, we will honor him no matter what. So, how many lives did Death claim in this new and I seen them all. Now it's time to count the casualties in Bloodline. Let's get to the lives lost. Begin with New Line Cinema. I mean, New Line actually been common with Final Destination since the first Final Destination. And we have a new one, Domain Entertainment. Now we have Iris and her boyfriend, Paul Campbell, driving to the grand open of the Skyview. Honestly, we actually have Becca Bassinger, first time of the horror campaign. Actually, this is not her first time. She actually is 47 million down in Uncaged, but this is actually a Nickelodeon star of Bella the Bulldogs and Stargirl. They arrive, much to Iris' surprise. She actually wanted to visit Sky, and she actually arrived in the Ring of Fire. Honestly, this is a reference to what will happen. I'm not going to spoil it, but you're going to see why. Now remember, Final Destination start with the first wave of deaths that happened in a vision called a premonition. I'm not counting them, but honestly, we actually have the elevator that actually have a lot. And honestly, elevators are terrifying in this film, like Final Destination 2. Yeah, I'm talking about Nora Carpenter. Mentioned to renovation, but they actually proceed without, and she feels nauseous, and she actually bleed on the rose. And eerie nod to Final Destination 5. Yeah! Shit going to go down. And the sheriff Leah trembles and overhears the nearly vomit. And we're introduced to a young William John Bloodworth. Aw, he cute, playing with his toy train. And his mother. His mother actually asks how far along you are. She said yes to the love part, and she also say, I don't know, about 3 weeks. And honestly, Paul is actually going to propose. And honestly, the kid actually throw a penny. The kid actually threw a penny off the Skyview. Honestly, the hat got off, the penny throw, and set everything in motion. And honestly, now we actually hear the freaking song, Shout! I enjoy it. And honestly, this is where Iris's premonition or Stephanie's dream begins. Yeah, I know. I am not joking. The glass begins to... Everybody start falling and dying one by one. Body exploded on the floor. And Paul actually died by falling. All of them actually stumbled one by one. Everybody got caught. Fire exploded. They rushed downstairs and they actually tumbled out. One guy actually got in the elevator at halfway and got cut in half. The left side got the structure collapsed and the woman got crushed by a piano. And all because of a penny. But the boy that actually threw the penny, that was responsible for all of it, well, he got crushed by the piano too. Only Iris and a young William Punt. And they jump at Iris actually jumped with her mouth on the metal wires, and William actually died with her. And Stephanie wake up screaming. Okay, what actually happened here? Well, in Bloodlines, Iris Iris survived long enough to have grandchildren. So that means... I'm going to explain. Playing Stephanie Reyes is actually Caitlin. Granddaughter of Iris is Caitlin Santa Dura, who actually appeared in The Flash as Lydia Centris. The scene kicked off with Stephanie screaming in her college math. Her teacher jokes that math is scary and the class is dismissed and privately, and Stephanie continued to have nightmares that joke her awake, and her roommate urges her to go and talk to her family and reach out to Iris, her grandmother. Stephanie agrees, but she been keep seeing her vision of her grandma Iris's death, premonition that haunt her, and she actually see her father appear, and Charlie Reyes, along with Charlie Reyes, played by Stephanie's brother, played by Tio Burris. Honestly, Tio Burris is actually going to appear in the new Finance and Phrase, and he also played Junior Wheeler in the Chucky series. He was actually the main role in 8 episodes until he got killed in the last episode. Stephanie searched for the old address book and learns more about her grandma Iris's past. They visit her cousins. Her father warned not to mention Iris, but the truth edges the surface. Stephanie reveals that she is a academic professor, and Charlie finds it hilarious because she valedictorian and A+ student. But does she actually do? Enter Eric and Bobby. Eric is big game in Mortal Kombat 1. Hey Eric, did you actually unlock all the characters yet? I mean, I actually have Omni-Man, I have Homelander, I have Ghostface. I have T1K1000. He enjoyed played by Richard Hammond. Last seen on the Lives Lost count as the vampire kid in Trick or Treat. Hammond also deeper role in horror credits as Rufus as Clay, Alex Wright in Grave Encounters 2, Connor in Evangeline, Kirk Lane in ICU, and Clay in Margaret. And playing Bobby is Owen Patrick Joy. Honestly, who actually do? He is the man. He is 100. He Nickelodeon star 100 things to do before high school. He from the Fundaments, Night Squad, and Kid Henry Danger. He actually from all those shows and guest star on them, and he actually in the main role of this series, and he also in the role of the post-apocalypse film The Veil. Bobby is actually searching for Paco, and Erica chimes in, and Julia is also looking. Julia, played by Anna Laura, and she actually is played as roles in Kim in They and Them, and the upcoming appearance in Black Phone 2. Don't worry, I will actually cover Black Phone sooner or later. She is still pissed at Stephanie, but she actually hold it together. We actually meet Brenda Campbell, who actually is Ilya. Techie horror fan might know her as Gwendolyn Jones, and also John, secretary in White Noise. They actually hug her, and Stephanie asks about Howard, Uncle Howard, Iris' son, played by Alex Alexander. Horror fan might recognize her as Dr. Ruddle in the Hordes, which I'll be covering soon. And he also appeared. He also dub in Gintama. Howard see that she want about Iris, and she had to bring up the Skyview incident from 50 years ago, and but Howard shut down, doesn't want to talk about it. He say it in a horrible way because Iris is a terrible mother since death is coming for her. Stephanie presses for him. He wants her to stay away from Iris. Meanwhile, Charlie finds Paco in the cabinet, the missing turtle. Stephanie asks Brenda for help, and Brenda actually told to look at the bottom drawer and say not to tell where you found it, and she actually drove up and found her private property, Isolation. She actually asked, "Did you see the signs?" Iris asked. "I'm your granddaughter." Stuff. Honestly, she actually asked her to put her phone and keys away. Iris is actually coming slow, she say. Stephanie entered the door as strange singles warning protections. She shut the door quickly. Don't move, Iris warns. As she speaks to death like in the room, she moved a chair, then asks how her mother, and she doesn't know because her mother left at 10. She doesn't, she been dreaming about the sky view and what actually happened to her. And she actually explained in the premonition what happened. That she saved everyone before the night. But those lives were never meant to be saved. Death came back. But come back. It doesn't stop. It waits and now it passed on to you. Hear the book. Also, the book reference to the entire Final Destination franchise. A record, a pattern, and a sign of death. I mean, we got all the Final Destination. Stephanie doesn't believe her step outside, and she actually, when death begins. Honestly, death actually begins, and she actually doesn't believe her, and she didn't believe in. Iris finally final words at 39 minutes and 57 seconds. Just before a weather vane is shown, fell from her house. A sudden burst of an air canister after it launched through her jaw and broke it and spewed blood, instantly killing her. She bleed all over Stephanie's face. Eric asked at the funeral what happened. Howard finally admitted that she's crazy, and she actually say that Iris say death has been coming for her family. Honestly, she actually see Darlene. Actually, everybody seen Darlene, Charlie, and Stephanie's mom. Now Stephanie is leaving. Stephanie doesn't have to go. Charlie say she doing the same thing as mom did. She actually pushed everybody away. Charlie snaps, you don't care. Later, Stephanie looks up death in the family and finds the book with the blood and the barbecue scene that is seen in the trailer, and we had the song of the Pina Colada song. I would like a Pina Colada in the background. Everything is perfectly arranged. According to that plan, Darlene made peanut butter cookies. Honestly, Bobby is allergic to peanut butter. Another close call. Honestly, how many people have a peanut butter allergy? Like it got hell of a summer vibes. Lighthearted chaos of death lurking just beneath the surface. Julia is choking, but it was a bug, and the penny actually is in her book. Everything is according to the book. The Flight 1A, the highway pickup, the highway pileup, the everything. Stephanie know the pattern, the plan. She asks who next. Howard is sitting with Darlene, and she hands him a key. He hands her a key to his house, but she actually gave it back to him. Charlie keep it up, then Darlene keep the mic at the hose explain like a rubber. But honestly, while that happened, somebody was racing, which is none other than Stephanie, then Howard Death with the garbage tool actually turn on the lawnmower. The glass stabbed him in the foot. He stumbled back and the lawnmower shred his face a brutal precise at 50 minutes and 46 seconds. Everyone screamed. Now it's Howard's funeral. JB, everybody comfort her. They actually know about JB. Actually, the only one that can actually found the one that actually survived. This is about the bloodline. She actually hugged Charlie, and now she actually have. If Iris were if Iris said were the last survivor of the original event, then death is coming for the rest of them, one by one. Okay, here. Okay. Let's see. Iris is the mother. Okay. Paul actually died first, but Iris have 2 kids. So instead of going for Darlene after Howard, it go to Howard, then we'll go to Eric, then Julia, then Bobby, then Darlene, then Stephanie, then Charlie. They actually think she crazy. Even her mother, she actually during the trade years ago. Honestly, the tattoo scene that actually was in the trailer, and while Cleo that teased in the trailer, he get a text from Stephanie. His response is, "Go fuck yourself." He about to tattoo. He actually tattooed his arm. Dad tat. My dad had tattoos, but not for me because I'm scared of needles. No, he actually never say that. I actually say that. Death is coming, and honestly, the fan dangle it and clip his nose ring, sparks fly, and the chain catch fire, and meanwhile, Stephanie waking Charlie and the rush to the tattoo parlor, which it burned down, and Eric survives. Barely. And he actually got burned and branded, but alive. Out of nowhere, a van speed away, just like a bus that killed Terry in the original Final Destination. Honestly, she actually see the kids that play soccer ball, leaf blower, and garbage truck. Eric is an idiot, but honestly, Julia not having her bullshit, and she actually got in the truck and trapped in it, and the worker is distracted by music. And a day up, he finally stopped, but it's too late because Julia is crushed to death by the garbage truck, and her arm got torn off at 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 48 seconds. Wait. But Stephanie said Eric is the oldest. He actually go first. I thought Eric go first. Then Julia, then Bobby. I thought did she screw up? Or did she? The truth is, Brenda, Eric is not Howard's biological son. His real father is Jerry Ben Fury, and Eric is furious. So, Bobby said, I'm next. Bobby is next. Stephanie started to look for a pattern. Is like probabilities. She predicted that going to happen. Their dad finally admit the truth. You all need counseling, he say. JB honestly showed up and found someone who actually survived her. Who actually is JB? Bobby died next, and honestly, the toilet, and he could fall down the toilet, and honestly, Eric told him, be creative. Honestly, I tell him, be creative with your deaths. Then Eric give him a neck check for good measure. They head to the hospital. Stephanie talked to her mom, who finally believed her, and she admitted she was traumatized by her own mother, and she that's why she shut Stephanie out. She did the same thing Iris once did inside the hospital. They holding for JB. And JB is actually John. But who actually is the legendary Tony motherfucking Todd? Yes, I am a fan. He told that he once saw Iris trying to protect the last to die. He actually is the last one to die. She came here for medical advice. He actually 2 ways to cheat death. Die to be reborn, like Final Destination 2, kill Willie Corman, or kill someone that is still their remaining years, like Final Destination 5. But don't fuck with death, he warns, or the Big Mac Daddy. Bloodworth is now retired. He have cancer. He survived so long. Death been waiting. Stephanie tries to look for answers. But let me actually explain why Bloodworth actually retired. Why Tony Todd retired. He actually realized he's actually sick, and he actually fixing to die, so he actually retired his character of Bloodworth, and that's why he actually died. Meanwhile, Bobby and Eric is planning to kill Bobby. Done playing. But they actually hug it out. Then Bobby and Eric but while they're hugging out Darlene, Charlie, and Stephanie, Bobby and Eric disappear. They both agreed to not kill babies, so they're going to joke about peanuts. So Bobby say not to get those salty bitches, get the peanut butter cups, and the spring will show again. Now into the MRI room that this place is cool. Bobby replied, how much time we have left. Eric hands him the phone. Take his phone away. If he doesn't make it, take care of Paco. Hey. If I actually I say, hey Eric, did Bloodworth say does it like mess with your his when you mess with his plans? Bobby eats the paper cut and he felt no reaction. I guess I'm not allergic after all, he say. Then his throat tightened. Not from peanuts, I guess. I guess it is the peanuts. Mail override failed and the MRI power magnet field. Erica get pulled violently, a wheelchair yank and impale him, and Eric died in 1 hour. 27 minutes and 42 seconds. Bobby got the algae pun. The environment had affected the hospital. The nurse rushed in. Are you okay? And Bobby said, yeah. Then the spring from the vending machine from earlier launched into his head, and Bobby died from the. Like a brother said, you don't fuck with the Mac Daddy of death. The nurse screamed, and they actually found the bodies of Eric and Bobby, all found dead. Now they're still on death's list. And now Death doesn't like when you mess with his list. Now their only hope is Iris at cabin and get Darlene to be locked up. And honestly, the old woman picked up a penny from earlier, but honestly, at the log truck. Honestly, one of the log truck is Final Destination 2. From the infamous pile up. Charlie and Stephanie and Charlie drive to Iris' cabin, and Death is already here, and they move, and they're going to ram it, guys, in, and the RV sparks fly inside already from the lights and get inside. Darlene, get down. She get down, and the house exploded. Glass and Stephanie in the water. Charlie is trapped, and Darlene actually saved Charlie, and Darlene actually saved her sister. Then, boom, the light fixture crashed down into Darlene's skull at 1 hour, 35 seconds, and 59 seconds. A brutal nod to the weight room death in Final Destination 3. A combination of the weight room death and the cherry picking death. Wait, if what about the order of every Final Destination film? Oh no. Stephanie is trapped underwater, and Charlie uses pocket knife, and she actually moved and got stabbed with it, and she got knocked unconscious and the air, and she actually gave him the breath of life, and she actually saved him. So it seems. She actually wake up and she feel, and it's honestly, Paco got fed and graduation day, but then blood bleeds like Iris did, and the protagonist in Final Destination Bloodlines before he died. The penny appears and stuck in the train tracks. Dr. Reyes says she did not die, she was not conscious. Stephanie see it all happen before Iris died. Then impact. The train barrels through, log crash out, and Charlie and Stephanie and Charlie are crushed to death. 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 80 seconds. A devastating both of the Final Destination ending and the Final Destination log scene final. And the movie ends with the tribute in memory of Tony Todd. How many lives lost did the Bloodlines have? Let's find out and get to the numbers. Wait, if my bloodline is almost similar to kill counting, lives lost counting. Would death come for me? Uh-oh. I better get to the numbers before death come for me. 8 people lost their lives to Final Destination Bloodlines. 4 males and 4 females. It's an even match. We're a runtime of 110 minutes. We got death every hour, every 13.7 minutes. So far, the deaths here is 524. Not counting the deaths of all over the franchise, because most of the deaths were mainly throughout the whole franchise. I mean, no, I'm not joking. Most of the people that died on the Skyview died during each of the movies. With the great acts of execution, I give it to Howard Campbell. Honestly, my great acts of execution go to the best deaths. So Howard Campbell's death is a freaking Rube Goldberg style death, a chain reaction death. With garbage tools, made him stab his foot backwards and get mowed by a lawnmower. A brutal, creative, and pure Final Destination chaos. Honestly, the whippy at death go to Stephanie and Charlie. Honestly, I know it lay on the field and a double homage to a double fatality, but the Crusher large train collision is direct reference to Final Destination 2, the highway scene, and the ending of the Final Destination. It's too hard to be frustrated and lack originality of earlier kills. The Grand Death. Honestly, you know the Grand Death goes. The Grand Death goes to the best premonition deaths. The death that happened in a premonition. The premonition go to is Iris Campbell. Honestly, Iris Campbell was not the last survivor. It was William Bloodworth, but she actually jumped from the Skyview while it was collapsing, and her mouth just got jabbed by jagged metal rods. It's a savage drag and symbolic visual silence her. Honestly, it actually mirrored the visions of her fate of a levitating death that pressurized her, pierced her jaw, and killed her instantly. It provoked the brutal and most memorable deaths of the film. Let's wrap up Bloodlines. How you think? Did I do good? Next is the Facility. Honestly, this is a cult classic about if like a Bysnatchers and Breakfast Club, an alien invasion about these parasites, about caffeine pills, alien parasites, Jon Stewart lost a finger. Yeah, that kind of movie. Honestly, this movie is all kind. And tune in for August 1st for the lives lost count. I'm your host, William Pry, aka Nexus. This has been my Lives Lost account. Stay tuned.